developed the cheapest and most scalable vanadium reflux flow batteries in the world. So ladies and gentlemen, for your breakout talk from VFlowTech, as mentioned earlier by Minister, we're going to get our CEO, Dr. Avishek Kumar, to give us a talk right now. Are you ready? All right, over to you. Have a good time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can we give him a round of applause, please? Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for your time today. This topic is very close to me, particularly enabling clean energy transition through long-duration energy storage solution. And our panelist just now was talking about sustainability and clean energy transition. Now we are entering into a decade where we see two key enablers for sustainability and clean energy transitions are renewables and electric vehicles. The key issue here is that renewable is intermittent, and so you have an intermittent load with electric vehicles. Now software plays a major role in understanding and estimating, probably forecasting, but you are still have a bridge to be between intermittent energy and intermittent generation. At VFlowTech, we feel long duration energy storage is designed to back up your renewables. When you have 4 to 5 hours of generation, you back it up and then you plug when you need it. Now there are different technologies available in the market. That is good news. We need to understand that not one technology fits all. Or a caveat in energy storage, we need to find right application with the right technology to make sense. And almost everyone can agree on this, that there are some key challenges with different technologies. To name few, lithium ion is a phenomenal technology with amazing energy density. But when we talk on phone for half an hour, it becomes hot. The phenomena is called thermal runaway. And if we have to power buildings, we have to manage this thermal runaway. And performance degradation is one of key issues that need to be figured out. All these things makes it uneconomical on long duration, particularly powering infrastructure. And there is a need to look into it. Flow batteries have been there for some time. And it is a phenomenal technology because it can discharge for long hours, it has long lifetime, and zero performance degradation. The key benefits these are the key inherent benefits in the flow batteries technology. It has been safe to use. And in sustainability, when we talk, recycling is also a key issue when we are dealing with long amount of large energy storage solution. Flow batteries are also inherently more recyclable. And you will be surprised if you, on terms of recycling, deployment of 1 megawatt hour of flow battery requires 78% lower carbon footprint than traditional technologies. We have 25 years of lifetime, 100% depth of discharge, and long life. Now, for any technologies, there are issues. Similarly, in flow battery technologies also faced with issues. The key issues with particularly flow battery technologies has been high parasitic losses, so the efficiencies has been low. There has been a precipitation of vanadium, which we are using it, and that's a challenge in hot and humid climatic conditions. We have chemical handling and other potential issues. This is where VFlowTech has been working on and reinventing and innovating. We have developed our own innovative stack technology that enables a 10% increase in efficiency. We have also worked on chemicals that allows us to operate our flow batteries in hot and humid conditions up to 55-degree ambient without the need of any active cooling. And we are also entering a decade where battery is no longer used to just start a car. It has multiple applications, peak shifting, frequency regulations. We have developed our own energy management system, which is a brain of battery, which we call, understands how the user behavior and fine-tunes it every day it operates. Now these innovations allows us to outperform similar technology in long duration space. It gives us operational flexibility. You are good from anything between 4 to 12 or beyond. Longer life clubs well with renewables. Typical energy storage life is about 25 years. Our battery life here is 25 years. You will be surprised. Even solar energy degrades 15% over 25 years of lifetime. Our degradation is less than that. Wider operating temperature opens new market for us. And one of the key consumption is the air con that you use in the energy storage. We don't need that. And you cannot burn liquid metal continually, so it's non-flammable as well. Energy storage has huge market. So in terms of market, long distance energy storage has such a segment, and one of our dream is to make world go diesel free. Our batteries are able to form grids with renewables, and the cost of energy generation from diesel genset is anything between 30 to 40 cents. In Southeast Asia, we have many such islands. Our batteries are able to effectively power these microgrids and can go make diesel obsolete. Renewable energy has been the talk of the town. All the countries are deploying huge amount of renewables. Just for an example, India is deploying 100 gigawatt of solar in next 3 years, which means 600 gigawatt hour of intermittent energy. 60 gigawatt hour is the minimum requirement in terms of battery. Put together, the market size is growing. We have built 3 products addressing different markets. A smaller product for household, a mid-sized product for CNI, a rice mill in Indonesia running for 10 hours, and a larger project to club EV infrastructure or renewable integration. So these 3 products are targeted for different segments. We have not only developed product, we have been testing product almost for a year. One of our early installation has been at Cleantech One building, which is our offices. So I'm proud to say that our offices are powered completely by renewables. Now this battery is able to power other applications like corridor lighting, backup applications, and even car park charging. We have developed our own energy management system that basically gives us foresight on the energy generation pattern and fine-tune battery operations for different applications. As we are talking about the energy transition and how renewable is going to play a major, how energy storage is going to play a major role, this is a good example for use cases. On one of the offshore island, they have been burning a lot of diesel, and we formed a microgrid with solar and our battery forming the grid. We were able to completely offset diesel, and we saved about 7,000 liters of diesel. When we talk about electric vehicles, you still need to charge it. And won't it be better if you create an infrastructure and do a green charging? I often joke with my friends, I mean, today we have a premium and non-premium fuel. In future, we have a green charging and non-green charging, and you pay a premium for it. And that's possible through our infrastructure. This is a very interesting project and a good example. We have just been awarded a project in Korea. The use cases were simple. I mean, in Korea, there are many windmills, and they are often forced to basically clip this energy. We are converting a gas station. We are charging at a place where there is a lot of available energy, bringing it to a gas station, converting the existing gas station into a fast EV charger. This project is ongoing. If we are able to successful, we plan to create many such EV charger connected over a virtual power plant applications. Basically, last decade when we saw lot of, when there was an internet boom, you saw data being collected. In future, you need these battery banks acting as a data centers, and you can reuse energy when you need it. And this will be possible through a virtual power plant. And we are working on this with a Korean partner to develop it and connect almost all the gas stations. Now, flow battery, another advantage is that it's quite scalable from megawatt to gigawatt hour. And the key advantage is that power and energy are separate. You can see one of in the diagram is that we use 2 tanks, and we can scale energy vertically. So the 2 tanks, when you see the colors, if you just need 2 megawatt hour, you just need to fill 10%. And from 2 to 20 megawatt hour, you just need to add more vanadium. That's how the technology is scalable. And that's on the left-hand side, you can see a typical design of 10 megawatt, 50 megawatt hour can be rescaled to a gigawatt hour easily. We are working on a pilot and doing our analysis on an island which is burning about 5 million liters of diesel nearby Singapore. And using these tanks helps us to save carbon, the total amount of the carbon footprint, and is able to sustainably power the whole island with solar plus battery, saving about 5 million liters of diesel. ESS opens many opportunities, and it is key for energy transition because we are on a verge of green renewables, which is now increasing exponentially. And the recent energy crisis not only put our feet back on looking to renewables, and renewable is incomplete without a long duration energy storage solution. So some of the key applications that we need to master are green EV charging. It's an opportunity that is required on a fast EV charging. Off-grid renewables are a good market. You have a microgrid and CNI applications which we have targeted, and peak shifting are one of the most profitable as we talk has become. So the future belongs to solar plus energy storage. Thank you.
Thank you. The future belongs to solar. With that, thank you very much, Dr. Abhishek, for the very interesting talk indeed. Thank you. Now, I want to let you know that we'd like to give you a token of appreciation. Can I invite you to the photo booth over there? And also as well, we've got Mr. Tan Chong Wei, Senior Director, Strategy of Merger Acquisition Asia Pacific, to give you that token. Please proceed over there. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, still to come, we've got more interesting topic, of course, to line up your day. Don't forget as well, if you have taken a photo of today, you enjoyed today's content, we would love for you to hashtag OctoberTech AP, and the other hashtag is, of course, innovating for sustainability. So before I bring on my next speaker, let me tell you a little bit more about Spectronic. Now, Spectronic is a Singapore company that develops hydrogen fuel cells for drones and also electric vehicles. Now, our speaker next has over 14 years of experience in hydrogen fuel cells, and also he has managed multi-million-dollar R&D program for key accounts such as Boeing, DARPA, General Atomics, SAIC Motor, and also China Aerospace Science and Technology Corporation. You have heard Minister talk about his company during the speech earlier this morning as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome on stage right now Mr. Jokjaman Jeb, founder and CEO of Spectronic. Thank you for joining us today. Over to you.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Jokjaman and I am the founder and CEO of Spectronic. We envision a future world powered by green hydrogen fuel cell technology. A fuel cell converts hydrogen gas into electricity with water as the only byproduct. It has about 3 times longer runtime compared to lithium batteries of the same weight, and refilling the hydrogen gas takes just 5 minutes. But when we started 10 years ago, it had nothing to do with going green. We served military drone customers that wanted to fly longer than lithium batteries could, but without the disadvantages of a gas engine, such as heat, noise, and vibrations. Over the years, we did countless hydrogen flights with 6 different types of aircraft, ranging from multi-rotor, fixed-wing, and helicopters, in various applications such as surveillance and parcel delivery. We broke the flight endurance record of every aircraft that installed Spectronic fuel cells. Users typically achieve